Welcome. Welcome to our practice of yoga. Today, Tuesday morning. Wow. Start with yoga. Start the day practicing yoga. Such a bless. Such amazing thing to be grateful. Yesterday night was such a beautiful practice. Such a beautiful practice. I had my heart so full of gratitude, so full of gratitude. And it was such a deep, very deep practice in all senses. How changed when in which space you are, in how which emotional space you are, how change the possibility of the experience. It's really interesting. At least I've been really aware of these changes, how my experience change in how I am emotionally. If I am irritated, if I have less patience, any experience is kind of molded by that emotion. If I have my heart full of gratitude, if I have my heart filled with compassion and kindness, how the experience is different, how the relationship is different with everything, with my husband, with my daily activities. Yoga has this power to bring you back to this point where we hold all these qualities, where actually these inner qualities, they are much stronger than the emotions, and ground you, bring you to create this strong base for any type of experience. Remember that the mind is interconnected with the body. There is no division. The mind and the body, they are only one entity, you. And they are interconnected. They have this symbiotic relationship, which means if the mind is in this agitation, is in this stress, this vibration is resonating within your body. There is a beautiful research, I think it's made by a Japanese, I don't remember his name, but have a look in the internet, Google it, is the effect of vibration into the water. Remember that this organic body, the main component of this organic body is water. And if you observe this scientific research, is a scientific research made by this Japanese, what happens with a different type of vibration in the water? What happens with the water? You will observe that when I think they use words, and they went using these kind words of love and compassion, the water creates these beautiful patterns, unbelievable patterns. And then when they use these words of hate or aggression, the water becomes these really weird patterns. And that is what's happening all the time with the body and the mind and the thoughts and the emotions. When you are in a moment of stress, when you are agitated, stressful, angry, that is resonating within your whole body. There is an immediately suppression of your immunological system, which is the defense of this organism. Then observe, yoga again Yoga is this tool that we are holding that bring you back to a vibration that is a more calm vibration, helps you to learn how to breathe, help you how to attenuate these peaks of emotions. That is gonna happen. Emotions are gonna happen. We're gonna feel fear. We're gonna feel anger. That is part of our nature. But how you let it go of these emotions, how you process these emotions, and don't let these emotions to take over, and don't let them to be imprinted into your physical body. We're going to start our practice in a few minutes. Welcome you that you're just arriving. You're not late. We are just having a nice chat about vibration and what we call material body, which, remember, we are all made of energy. The physical body is also made of energy. This density that we see is an illusion, is in movement, is vibrating also. Here in our classes of yoga, we have this very strong component of nada. We are very fortunate to have this component of nada yoga. I always tell to my students, and you that you are my student, you know, that when we are in the same room, we can have this feeling, the vibration. The vibration is like tune our own vibration. Unfortunate, now we cannot be in the same room. And I hope that your experience is as deep as my experience here with the sound. Then is a very important component, is a very deep component in our practice, the sound, the vibration, tuning all the layers. I'm going to start to implement more and more in our practice the Bija mantras. The Bija mantras, they are the sound of the centers of energy. Then when we resonate that sounds, we are bringing harmony to these centers. And these centers, they are, again, interconnected with the mind, interconnected with the physical body. There is an article in our website, meditarecenter.org, talking about the energy body. It's a very interesting article that gives you an introduction of what I'm talking about chakras, about physical body, their interconnection, the interconnection with the mind. You can all see that in this article in our website. And now it's time for us to start our practice. Now we enter in what I feel the most important, because we can talk about it a lot of different things. But to talk about it, have just this very shallow understanding. Is the intellectual understanding actually is very shallow. What is deep is the experience. And that is what is amazing in the practice of yoga. Yoga, as you know, is a philosophy. You should be implementing yoga every single moment of your life, in every single action, in every single thought, in every single movement. That is how should be yoga. It's a way of life. Here, when we sit on the mat, we are just reminding ourselves the possibility of this perception connected. And then here we are now experiencing yoga, and really coming to that deep possibility of understanding, what we call wisdom. That is the difference between an intellectual understanding, which is just knowledge, and an experimental understanding, which is wisdom. Then you hold it. You hold the truth because you had the experience. Then let's go. Let's go to this path that is so beautiful, that is so gentle, that is so kind. Come with me. Come with me in this journey. Let's start it always finding a comfortable position. That's how I like for us to start our practice. Comfort is something so important and that we forget. We are so busy, even now, even now that we are kind of stuck in a kind of a Sunday, a perpetual Sunday. I feel like that. Even now that we have more time, the mind is still agitated. The mind is still busy. There is so much things. We are bombarded with so much information. And then we lose this connection with the body. The body is always in tension, always in contraction. Then let's start our practice always finding comfort. And here you can sit in any position. Sit, or you can lay down. Maybe you can use a chair, your favorite chair, if it's around you. Or maybe you already feel ready to sit on the floor and you already start working with the physical body and all these contractions that the physical body holds because the way that we live. Then find your comfort. And once you are in this comfortable position, then the mind is not more anymore stuck into the body. Then the mind can travel within the waves of sound. Removing all the obstacles, opening the doors for wisdom, clarity, deep connection with every single element that we hold. The great consciousness beyond our body. Bhuta Ganadi Sedipam Kapita Jambo Palasaraba Shiva Namami, Namami, Namami Vigneshvara. Namami 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 Stay just for more of a moment in this stillness, just feeling the vibration. The sound may disappear, but the vibration is still there. And now, holding this different perception, there is a different perception that is already in the mind. Holding this new space, we're going to start to move in direction to our position for pranayama. You are probably familiar to that position. If you're not, if it's your first time here, our position for the pranayama, for the breathing exercise, is a laying down position. You're going to lay down on your mat with the back in direction to the floor. Take your time. Don't rush. I'm going to show you the position just in case that you're not familiar. You're going to bend your knees. The knees are bent and the feet are placed on the floor. Feet on a parallel position, distance of your hip, legs parallel. The elbows are on the floor and the hands here on the lower abdominals. The lower abdominals is this area of the belly just below the navel. And here you're going to bring your attention, your whole attention, to the area of your feet, to this connection between feet and floor. Observe if you can feel the whole area of your feet connecting with the mat. And then you bring your attention to this area of the pelvis. Observing first if the pelvis is in the neutral position. It's very easy for you to measure if the pelvis is in the neutral position simply rotating. You can rotate your pelvis forward and then you can rotate the pelvis backwards. You will observe when you rotate forward, all the muscles of the back, they are flat on the floor. And when you rotate backwards, you create this big arch away from the floor. What we are looking for is that middle way, is the position of a neutral spine. Please stay in your position. I'm just going to go to the sitting position because it's easier for me to talk when I am here in a sitting position. It's easy for me to guide you. You're going to stay in this position, in a laying down position, through the whole phase of pranayama. Then once you observe the pelvis, it's very important to have the pelvis neutral, because in this way, all the muscles of the back, they can rest. You're not overworking with any muscle of the back. Then you bring your attention to the area of the chest. The area of the chest is an area of a lot of contraction. It's an area that holds a lot of emotion. Then take a deep breath now, directing to the chest. And when you make your exhalation, really take it off this tension from the chest area. Then you bring your attention to your shoulders that are really resting in direction to the floor. The chin is lightly in direction to the chest. Then you alleviate the cervical area. And then you are on the floor in this very neutral position, this position that is neutral but also in alignment. You are holding the neutrality of the spine. And with this position, where you should have a perfect combination of relaxation and alignment, we will start the practice of pranayama, practice of breathing, working with life force. In a more physiological perspective, working with oxygen, which is the food for every single cell of the body. You will start it with an inhalation through your nose. And when you make this inhalation at the same time, your abdominals, you will expand the abdominal area. like a balloon. You should be feeling the abdominals to move with your hands. Your hands are placed there in the lower part of your abdominals, exactly for you to feel this expansion. Abdominals are expanding. And your exhalation, you will observe that there is a contraction of the abdominal area. But in this contraction, I want for you to simply surrender to this contraction. It will happen because the gravity is pulling your muscles in direction to the spine. But I want for you not to expend energy contracting the abdominals. Then your energy is only placed into the inhalation part of the cycle. Then let's do it together for a few moments. This movement: inhalation, abdominals expanding, and exhalation, release the abdominals. Inhalation, the abdominals are expanding, and exhalation, simply release the abdominals. All your awareness, all your focus, the mind is placed in this motion of abdominals and the connection with the air coming in and out of the body. Now, very gently, without losing this connection of inhalation and exhalation, we will expand our awareness, perspective to the whole body. Our focus now is the whole body. And I will invite you to remember that alignment that we work just before starting our pranayama. Remember if the spine is neutral. Remember if the chest is rest, shoulders in direction to the floor. You are bringing your awareness to the whole physical body, observing if you are breathing, constant breathing. The breathing is not interrupted throughout the whole pranayama, throughout this whole section where we are working with breathing. The breathing is continuous. It continues without interruption. But your focus, rather than to be only there in the abdominals, now you have this larger focus. You are perceiving the whole body into this position. Is the body still in alignment? Is the body still in relaxation? Observe. And now we will introduce one element for your attention, which are the pauses. There is a pause after inhalation, and there is a pause after exhalation. Observe if you can expand these pauses a little bit inside of your zone of comfort. You have an inhalation, you have a pause, you have the exhalation, and you have a pause again. Your awareness now is placed in the whole cycle of breathing, in every single element, in the length of every one of these elements, and also in this rhythm that you are creating that is unique to you. We are coming in direction now to our last cycle. We're going to start in your next inhalation, and you finish after the pause, after exhalation. Remember to hold the rhythm. Do not rush. I need to finish because this segment is finished. I need to finish. No, you don't. You can take all the time that you needed. Here, if there is something that you hold, is time. The time here is not constricting your mind, your muscles, your breathing. Once you finish your pause after exhalation, you will allow the body to start to breathe naturally. Remember, the body breathes naturally all the time, does not require awareness, consciousness. It's there breathing. This movement of air doesn't require my attention, doesn't require my focus. And now the work of the mind is to simply observe this natural breathing happening within the body. And your job now is not to interfere in this natural breathing. Here we are practicing this amazing state of mind that in yoga they call a whole body, Vijnana Maya Kosha, the body of wisdom, where I am present, I am aware, but I'm not interfering. I'm not interacting. I'm not adding and I'm not excluding. And with this new space of mind, with now this new rhythm that you are already acquiring, we're going to start to move. And remember, implement this rhythm, implement this space also in your movement. Remember that every single movement is yoga. Then the asanas, the yoga postures, they are as important as the movement of transition. And now you're going to make a big transition. It's a big transition because you are in a laying down position and you're going to make a transition to the standing position. Then the first reaction is to quick stand, but not. I invite you to gently come to the standing position and actually start to study how do I go from the laying down position to the standing position. Yes, do you have already this software. You can immediately go to one position to the other without thinking, but not here. Here in your yoga practice, you are present in every single motion and then observe. You are probably here already in the standing position. And we're going to start our work this more intimate work with the body, creating a connection with our base. Then to work with this connection, we're going to work with our feet into these circular motions. It's just a circular motion with your foot against the floor. You know, only moving in a circular possibility here of the motion. And observe that maybe in the beginning of this movement, you were already distracted. The mind was already in another thought, maybe not even in your practice, maybe in something that happened yesterday, maybe in something that you need to do after you finish your practice, which means if your mind is in the past and if your mind is in the future, you are not anymore in yoga. Because the mind needs to be here in the present moment. Then yoga is happening. Remember, yoga is connection. And one of the fundamental elements for this connection to happen is the mind to be in the present moment. Then we change the direction. And when we change the direction, we're going to also change this relationship of the mind with the movement. Yes, it seems superficially a very simple movement. But when you bring your attention, your awareness, you're going to start to feel that actually you are working with many different muscles, with many different articulations. Then observe every area, every single area, every single part of your foot that you're working, and perceiving if the range that you are using is the whole possibility that you have for this motion. We're going to finish now the movement. Both feet now on the floor, and your weight is now balanced between left and right foot. And I invite you for you to perceive what is the difference, or is there any difference between the foot that you work and the foot that you have not worked? Just observe in your body, make this study, this inner study. And then you're going to start to move the other foot. Circular motion again. Now your awareness are more clear. You're here, you're more present. You already know that the mind can get distracted. But you already know that your job is to bring the mind back as soon as possible. But always in this gentle way. Gentleness, kindness always is the key. Because if you start to criticize yourself, if you start to judge yourself, that are more distance. You are going to be more away from your practice. Then back to your foot. The foot is moving, and I'm feeling every single part of the motion. And now I start to feel other element, the rhythm, how fast I'm doing this movement. And if I am doing too fast, reduce the rhythm. Remember, here you have all the time that you need. Let's change the direction. Just doing this exercise, just with this motion, we are bringing balance to the first center of energy called Muladhara. This center of energy is our relationship with our body, the needs of the body. And in a psychological understanding, works with stability, with security, with grounding. And we end our movement. Now, bringing our feet to a parallel position, we're going to bend our knees, looking into a diagonal direction. We're going to make circles here with our knees. Just complementing that work with Muladhara, and also preparing the knees for the asanas. Now your awareness, your focus is there in the knee, in this rotation. But at the same time, I will invite you to pay attention in your breathing and observing if the breathing is happening without interruption, as was in that moment after pranayama, where you only was observing the breathing. Let's change the direction. The awareness is placed now on the area of knee, down. Then you start to observe the knees, but also the feet, the calves. You're looking in diagonal direction to the floor. And then you're going to end your movement in the center, and here you rest, dropping the body. Your knees, they are bended. You're going to release your head here. We are working already in an inversion. Inversion, they are very, very healthy for the physical body because You are challenging the circulation in direction to the brain. Then release there your shoulders here and your head completely. And to stimulate even more this relaxation in the area of the neck and in the area of the shoulders, let's move the head gently. Follow your instinct now in observing which actually movement of the head seems to you more beneficial to bring more relaxation to this area. Maybe it's a circle that you need to do at the top of the head. Maybe it's a more wavy motion. Use your intuition here to observe which movement is going to be more beneficial to release. The upper part of the spine, the area of the shoulders, and the area of the neck. Then you're going to end the movement, taking a deep breath that you are directing to the upper part of your back. Release your shoulders even further. Also your head, and you're coming back in a circular motion. Here your knees are bended. Gently. Taking all the time that you need. There is no rush. And once you are in a standing position, you're going to start to rotate the shoulders in direction to the back. Expanding the area of the chest, bringing the shoulder blades close to each other. And now we're going to introduce the arms into this motion. Up and in direction to the back. Up and in direction to the back with control throughout the whole circle. Inhalation, the arms come up, and exhalation, the arms come down. In our position, without interrupting breathing or movement, you're gonna observe the feet touching the floor. Your knees, they are soft. They are not in a locked position. And we're gonna start to introduce Uddiyana Bandha, which is the contraction of the abdominal area. Here, different from the tradition, we are just doing a gentle contraction. Really making sure that your pelvis is not moving forward or backwards, and really grounded into the neutral position. Now bring your attention back to this movement and observe if you are already reaching the whole possibility of this movement, the whole range of this movement. And release. Now you will separate your feet beyond the distance of the hip. It's not a much wider base. It's just an intermediate base now. The feet on a parallel position. And your hands are coming here in direction to your kidneys. And just the touching of here already bring balance to these vital organs. that they are responsible to filter all the liquids within the body. Also, the adrenal glands that are just above the kidneys, and they are uh, interconnected with many different hormonal functions within the body. And just here, we are already bringing energy to this area. And then we're going to make a circle with the pelvis. This circle is extremely important because we are working with a movement of the pelvis that is not never included in our daily life, which is the circle, the rotation of the pelvis. And the body is like that. If you do not work with something within your body, there is contraction, there is weakness. Then here we are working now with physically with the pelvis, with all that possibility to bring more strength and more flexibility to this area. And we're also working with the second chakra, Swadhisthana. Here, our relationship with emotions. Remember to move the pelvis. When the pelvis go in direction to the back, you're looking forward. And in the front, bring the pelvis to the front. The pelvis is moving as a circle. You can imagine that there is a circle around your pelvis and you're trying to touch this circle with your pelvis. Let's change the direction. And all your awareness is in this movement. The pelvis in a circular motion. And now you expand. Your awareness come back to the knee, to the feet, to the chest, to the shoulders. Perceiving the whole body within this movement. Gonna end the motion into the center. Your feet are in a parallel position. Your knees are soft. Abdominals in contraction. And here we're gonna go to Suryasana. Suryasana works with back bend. Then always when you do a back bend, you need to be extra careful with your body, doing the movement just as far as it's comfortable for you. Remember that your hands are still here in the lower back, really giving this extra stability to this area. And you're going to go to the movement together. It's going to have a possibility of variation with your head. You can keep your chin close to the chest, or you can release the head in direction to the back. Observe what resonates better with your body. Very gently come back to the center. Release your arms. And the shoulders start to rotate in direction to the front. Abdominals in contraction. Really keeping the neutrality of the position of the spine. Knees are soft, your weight distributed equally between both feet. Stretching the chest and bringing the shoulder blades close to each other. And now we bring the movement to the arms, back and front, back and front. Inhalation, the arms are coming up, and exhalation, the arms are coming down. Contraction of the abdominals, control your pelvis. And now close your eyes. Close your eyes and surrender to your own rhythm. Really using the whole length of the inhalation to bring the arms up, and the whole range of the exhalation to bring the arms down. In your next exhalation, bend your knees and gently release your body in direction to the floor. Now, legs in extension. Releasing the top of the head in direction to the floor. Releasing shoulders, arms. Bringing your weight also in direction to the front of your feet. And very gently remember to keep your awareness, to take your time. We are in transition from this position in direction to the floor. Sukhasana. Remember that if you have any difficulty with a sitting position on the floor, you can use a chair. You can sit in the chair and to do the motion in a sitting position on the chair. Just remember to come away from the back of the chair and keep your spine in alignment. Here on the floor, we're going to be working with Sukhasana, and the right leg is going to be the second to fold, which means the right leg is going to be outside of the position. On a cross position, observing the alignment of your spine, you're going to start to rotate the spine to one side and then the other. Release your shoulders here. And you will observe that in the beginning, do not rotate completely. What we are working here is actually we are warming up the whole structure of the body for the asana. Then first, we just work with the muscles. And then we're going to work later on with the whole spine, really looking for the whole possibility of the movement. But now, just gently, you start gradually to expand your range inside of this rotation. We're going to come to stillness. First on the center, your hands are on the floor, really feeling this alignment of the spine, releasing your legs in direction to the floor. And now you're going to cross the left leg into the front of the position, reaching your thigh. The right arm come up on the height of your chest, and you will opening the chest completely in direction to the back. Bring your hand now in direction to the floor, and we are holding the position. Look in direction to the back. This hand that is on the floor, the aim of this position is to keep the alignment of the spine. The aim of this hand here on your thigh is to rotate, to help the rotation. Make sure that your shoulder, they are away from the ears. There is no tension and contraction in direction to the ears there. And that you're using your head, looking in direction to the back as further as possible. Inhalation here. And exhalation back to the center. Inhalation, we're going to stretch in direction to the ceiling. Abdominals here in contraction. I'm going to control the movement of descending all the way. In the end of the movement, my hands come to the floor and I release my head completely. The pelvis, they are on the floor. And now the hands are coming close to the body. And with my arms, I bring in the body up in a circular motion, taking all the time that I need again to conclude this movement. In alignment, release your shoulders, bringing your hands in direction to your thighs, really controlling this expansion of the chest, motion of the top of the head in direction to the ceiling, and resting. If you need it, you can keep your hands on the floor. Rest your shoulders. Hands are coming on the back of the pelvis, and you are stretching one leg and then the other. Move a little bit, resting a little bit, and then you're going to come back to Sukhasana. Take a moment here, observing your knees, releasing the area of the knees if you need it. And now we're going to come back to Sukhasana, to the cross position, with the left leg crossing second. Then first the right, and then the left. First, observe your alignment. Observe the alignment of the spine. Release your legs here. Both ischios are on the floor. You can move a little bit the glutes and really feel the sitting bones on the floor. The chest open, shoulders release. And you're going to twist now in direction to the left side. Crossing first this arm in front of the position. The other arm on the height of your chest. You open, really opening the chest in direction to the back. Bring your hand to the floor, and then now we're going to hold the position. Remember that the hand behind you is holding the alignment. The hand in front of you is helping the rotation. Look in direction to the back. Observe the alignment of the spine, engaging every single vertebra in this movement. Inhalation here and exhalation back to the center. Abdominals in contraction. Inhalation is stretching direction to the ceiling, controlling the descending of the movement with your abdominals, really working the abdominals here. Hand come in direction to the floor, and I surrender to the movement. Release your head, release your shoulders. Hand close to the body, circular motion up. The hands helping till the body come in alignment. And we take just a moment here, resting the body into the stillness, resting the mind into the silence. And if you are my student, you know when we are having fun, time simply disappears. And now is already time for us to come to Shavasana, to our relaxation posture. Remember to hold this state, the same state when you started. Now is much more deep, much more refined. Then take all the time that you need. Do not rush. Now you're going to experience the most important part of our practice. Is where everything makes sense. Make sure that you have your socks. Make sure that you have your jumper. Make sure that you have your blanket maybe. It's very important that you have comfort throughout this whole experience. I'm going to guide you to how to go to your position, but I will be staying in a sitting position. You will laying down on the floor with your back in direction to the mat. Remember that when you go to the floor, it's much more healthier if you go to the side of your body first and then you bring your back in direction to your mat. On a laying down position with the back in direction to the mat, you will extend your legs. Your legs, they are slightly apart from each other. Accommodate well all the muscles of the spine against the floor. Bring your head slightly in direction to the chin. Drop your arms along the body with the palms in direction to the ceiling. Let's start this journey of relaxation, releasing deeply every single part of the body that I'm calling. Close your eyes. Dive within your own universe, within your own waters. Let's start releasing completely our feet, then legs, and pelvis. Releasing deeply, surrendering completely. Abdominals and chest. All the muscles of the back, from the base to the upper back. Relax, release. Release shoulders, arms and hands, the neck and the head. Release the whole body. The whole body is surrendering deeply, more deep, from the tip of your toe to the top of your head. Complete relaxation. No contraction. No constriction. No tension. No obstacles. The mind vibrating within the sound. Finding the primordial vibration of perfect harmony, of health and kindness. Vam, vam, nam, yam, hum, Vam, vam, ram, yam, hum, Lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, Lam, vam, ram, yam, hum, and the mind travel within the vibration, in this perfect vibration of harmony, contribution, collaboration, and arrive back to our sacred temple, perceiving the body here in a laying down position, and very gently respecting this inner rhythm, this inner pace, this inner connection. Let's start to bring the movement. Hands, feet, legs, bouncing the head gently from one side and the other, stretching, expanding this energy, allowing this energy to spread throughout the whole body in waves of vibration. And gently you're going to start to lay down on the side of the body and come to a sitting position. Today I went a little bit over our time. Sometimes these things happen. You that you are my student, you know. Never is time enough for yoga. Gratitude. Gratitude for being with me in this journey. Gratitude for being part of my family, my yoga family. It's with my heart full of joy that I want to express to you my deep gratitude. Namaste. I hope I see you soon. I hope you are with me. You know that we have live classes every day of the week except Friday, Saturday. Then from Monday to Thursday, we have live classes. And I hope to see you. I hope to see you here soon. I'm going to leave in the description below all the times as usual for you to keep the journey with me. Have a beautiful day.